What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at a couple new level 6 green Digimon, as well as a rather hefty option card. So let's start off taking a little bit of a look at, and I didn't know this Digimon before, I'd never seen this Digimon before, but it looks awesome, and I'm kind of a little bit in love. DinoTigermon. Is it a dinosaur? Is it a tiger? Is it both? I don't know. But I'm a little bit in love, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little bit in love. Now, what we've got here is a 12 cost to play normally, 4 cost to Digivolve, 12,000 power. And this is really interesting. I mean, firstly, that's one more across the board, yeah? 11 free, 11 is standard, this is 12 4 12. But what's really interesting here is that this is a green Digimon, and it is a proper green Digimon. It is not a dual-colour Digimon. It has no skill saying it's also counted as. No. It is just a full-on green Digimon. However, it also Digivolves from blue. So it is a full-on green Digimon that can also Digivolve from blue. Is that weird? Yes. Obviously. Don't care, ladies and gentlemen. That's really kind of cool. And that actually fits in rather nicely because we've got a nice cheating evolution skill, and we see that a lot in this set, because it can Digivolve for 1 memory from SaberLeomon. Oh, well, that kind of makes sense. And of course, let's not forget that SaberLeomon does tend to be a blue Digimon. We saw SaberLeomon right back in BT9 as a nice level 6. And when you Digivolve, you trash 4 Digivolution cards under one of your opponent's Digimon. Okay, fine, we've seen 2 and one's blue and one's green. That's not the point. Point is, this Digivolves from blue or green, and it can be either, so that's kind of fun. And I kind of like this, because the problem with that SaberLeomon back in BT9 was really nice Digivolution skill, and then it's actually got bad stats. I told you 11 free, 11 is standard. This is 11 free, 10,000 power. So I don't actually like that SaberLeomon from BT9. It doesn't see a huge amount of play because it's got a nice Digivolution skill, but then nothing. And you know, trashing 4 Digivolution cards, that can be a level 5, a level 4, a level 3, a level 2. Turn a level 6 Digimon from having a full complement of evolution sources to having none. It's really good, but then you need to do something. What do? Pay 1 memory and Digivolve into DinoTigermon? That could work, ladies and gentlemen. That could work very nicely indeed. The other option we've got is the SaberLeomon from BT7. When you Digivolve, you gain 5,000 power for the turn. So when you Digivolve for 1 turn, you're 15,000 power. And then on deletion, you gain 2 memory. So again, there's a very strong argument there that what you really want to do is Digivolve up, get the extra 15,000 power, feel very good about yourself, and then turn around and go, oh wait, now what do? I know, let's Digivolve again. And sure, you're going from a level 6 into a level 6, boo hiss, etc. You're gaining a lot of advantages here, and that's kind of cool. Plus, when you are attacking, if this Digimon has a card with Leomon in its name, or X-Antibody in its Digivolution cards, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Love it. Now, do remember everything unsuspends at the start of your opponent's turn during their unsuspend phase, but the point is here that you can unsuspend to stop your opponent activating skills, or you can suspend your opponent's Digimon so you can attack it, because you're only allowed to attack suspended Digimon. Basically, it's a very green thing, and it's a very cool skill, and I like it very much indeed. Also, unlike so many other green cards, there's no suspend a Digimon of X play cost of X power or anything like that. It's just anything you like. And then on your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended, you may unsuspend this Digimon. Oh, that's kind of cool. And one thing I want to note here is that the unsuspending is once per turn, but suspending your opponent is not. So essentially what you do here is you attack, suspend your opponent's Digimon or Tamer. Hey, now I get to unsuspend, yay, and then you get to attack again, and you get to suspend another Digimon or Tamer at the same time. I love this. Essentially, what you've got here is a level 6, 12,000 power Digimon, very slightly above average, and you can attack twice while also suspending 2 of your opponent's Digimon. And obviously what you can do quite nicely here is, suspend a Digimon and then attack it. It works beautifully. Love it. Those 2 attacks really, really help. Suspend, and the next time you come around, you're like, oh, hey, wait, didn't I suspend you a minute ago? Now I get to attack you and take you out. I like DinoTigermon. I'm not loving the 4-cost to Digivolve generally, and I'm fully aware that if you're Digivolving from SaberLeomon, you're Digivolving from a level 6 that costs 3 cost to Digivolve, so you're paying 4 memory either way. You're either paying 4 to go straight to DinoTigermon, or you're paying 3 to go to SaberLeomon and then 1 to go to DinoTigermon. But both the SaberLeomon we've seen are really good when you Digivolve and then you want to get out of it. This is a great, great way to get out of it. Plus 2 attacks, suspending 2 Digimon. I like DinoTigermon. It makes me happy. But if you want more Dino-themed green Digimon, how about Dinorexmon? 13 cost to play normally, 5 cost to Digivolve, 13,000 power. Not even pretending to be anything other than huge. This is a gigantic Digimon. It is also a true 2-color Digimon. It is actually red and green. It is both red and green, and it can Digivolve from both red and green. You've got a proper dual-color Digimon. Although if you play them both in the same deck, you can be playing around with 3 different colors, and I don't know, that doesn't sound too awkward, does it? That could work. I don't know. I'm going to need a reason to play this if it's 13 cost to play and 5 cost to Digivolve. Well, what we've got is, when you Digivolve, for each of your opponent's tamers, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon and gain a memory. Oh, well, that's pretty gosh darn good. Now, not every deck likes to do this, admittedly, but we've seen that Gabumon Bond of Friendship. Those decks certainly like having an awful lot of tamers out. Shine Greymon decks, they like having a bunch of tamers out. I'm not going to sit here and name a bunch of decks that like having tamers. The point is, there are a few of them out there, and this is a wonderful, explicit counter to them. As a side note, if we ever end up with side decks in a Digimon TCG, we don't at the moment, but if we ever end up with side decks where you can swap some cards in and out between games, this is going to be a great side deck card, because if you find yourself against a deck that loves tamers, this is kind of like a super, super obvious counter to it. As a side note, even without side decks, if you're playing in a metagame where you're expecting to play against a bunch of decks that rely on tamers, this is a really, really strong option. So even before we get side decks, just be aware, in any metagame with tamer-hungry decks, this is going to be a very, very nice option indeed. Because now you're not really paying 5 cost to Digivolve, you could be paying 0. There is a scenario here where you actually Digivolve and end up with more memory than you started. Because you don't reduce the play cost, you gain a memory, which is kind of lovely. That means if your opponent's got 6 tamers out, and there's an argument if they've got 6 tamers out, the game isn't going great for you. But if they've got 6 tamers out, you pay 5, gain 6, you end up 1. It's not really ever going to happen, but it remains a fun theoretical possibility. Plus, you are suspending a whole bunch of your opponent's Digimon. That's nuts. But we've got another really nice skill as well. On all turns, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 power or less is suspended, you can delete it. That's a ridiculous skill! An absolutely ridiculous skill! Incidentally, I like the Digivolution skill, but I told you there had to be a reason why Dinorexmon was so expensive. This is it. Because when your opponent's Digimon attack, they get suspended. What that means is your opponent can attack with a Digimon with 6,000 power or less, but then they will get suspended, because that's what happens when you attack, and then they will get deleted, and that Digimon's done. Anytime you suspend an opponent's Digimon through any of the skills that we've talked about, we just talked about it on Dinorexmon skill, and we just talked about it just a second ago on DinoTigermon. That suspends Digimon, and it's green, right? Green loves suspending Digimon, and anytime you do, if you suspend a Digimon with 6,000 power or less, they just get instantly deleted. That's brilliant for you. very much not for your opponent. It is a really, really good skill that is going to really hurt your opponent because they can't really attack with Digimon with less than 6,000 power unless they're happy with that Digimon instantly getting deleted. Anytime you suspend a Digimon with 6,000 power or less, you actually end up deleting them instead. And because Dinorexmon is on the field when you Digivolve, every time you suspend them, you delete them at the same time. It's nuts, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely nuts. I adore Dinorexmon, and the fact that it can go in a green or a red deck is just phenomenal. Do remember, of course, that you want to be suspending Digimon, so it's still going to fit more naturally into a green deck, because they've got the whole suspension thing going on. But I did promise you there would be an option card coming in here as well. We've got Ground Fang, an 8-cost option card, and as a security, it does what it does normally. So it's one of those ones you want it to come out of security so you don't have to pay the 8 memory. Return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon and one of your opponent's suspended Tamers to the bottom of their owner's decks. So again, this is a situation where if it comes out as a security, you can play it for free, but if the right ones aren't suspended, that's actually kind of annoying and you won't get full value. This happens all the time with option cards that come out of security, but it's still sad when you don't get full value. However, getting rid of a Digimon and a Tamer, there's very few cards that can get Tamers off the field. Very few. So although putting a suspended Tamer to the bottom of your opponent's deck is not good for 8 cost, and that's not hugely efficient, not compared to other cards we've seen, the idea of getting a Tamer off the field, that works, ladies and gentlemen. That works very nicely indeed. Perfect? No. No one's arguing it's perfect. But fun? Yes. And certainly if you're playing the kind of deck that can suspend Digimon and Tamers, and you're willing to pay the 8 memory, it's great. Because let's not forget, when you're attacking with DinoTigermon, you can suspend Tamers and Digimon. And you can do that twice in one turn. So potentially here with DinoTigermon, what you essentially do is attack, suspend a Digimon or Tamer, do it again, suspend a Digimon or Tamer, and now what you've basically done is selected the 2 you want off the field, Digimon or Tamers, and then Ground Fang will get rid of them. Like I've said, they unsuspend at the start of your opponent's next turn. Wouldn't it be a shame if they weren't there to unsuspend in the first place? I'm still not convinced I want to spend 8 memory on it. And I'm still not convinced it's always going to be coming out at the right time from your security, but there are clearly points where this is going to win you the game. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I like DinoTigermon. I love Dinorexmon. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.